in, so that's good. So, so we can do the voice check, or the 1, 2, ready.
1, 2, 1, 2.
Okay, you get that. Well, do that, and then there we are. 1, 2.
1, 2, 3.
1, 2.
1, 2, 3.
Good. Yeah, we'll just wait a bit until a few people in. So yeah, it's basically called F1WR Round 4 Portuguese Grand Prix Div 4 Zoo. Right. Because I just got a couple of people mention it. I think, I'm not sure in the chat or not, because I checked it after to see how people's reaction to it, because I want to see how they respect my talking point, because I do chat a lot of nonsense, but they sometimes say like the telemetry on so that you can see like how much energy and stuff like that, because I always just look at the dashboard saying they have this amount of energy even though I can't see it. Right, Q1. Jesus, it's right. Make sure everything's okay. Just a few these cameras shake. Okay. Right. Is everything okay there?
Yeah.
Is everything good? Okay. I'll quickly get overlay on so I can see whoever's talking or not in case, because I don't barely hear anything. Right. As soon as the first one. Oh, yeah, no, it's not Tom. It's Christix. There we go. Few people in the stream, so we'll start already. We'll start now. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the stream. This is round 4 in the Division 4 Championship. We're on the outboard shot, well, the spectator shot of Christix in the AlphaTauri. He's setting up the first lap. Hopefully not invalidate. I think he's trying to get a banker somewhere around here. And after he's now joining me today. It's Cryptic from commentating in Bahrain. Missed out 2 rounds, but he's now back. Say hello.
Hello. Can't wait to finally get back into this Div 4 action. There's so much to unpack looking at the standings, so can't wait. Let's get into it.
Yeah, and now from Christix. The main, so in Portimao, says from Div 5. If you were not tuned in from yesterday, the main ones for the jobs. It's difficult in qualifying. Was just I think it was turn 1, because it's a very difficult one to get the apex, and the uphill right hand on the hill, where when Portimao was introduced into the game, everyone spun on it because of the traction. But if you master those 2, you can you basically just master the whole circuit if you are quick at other sections. Well, Christix, check in for the first lap in, an 18-1 for the AlphaTauri. The lap from him.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Matt coming on the 17-4, so beats it already. I commentated Div 5 yesterday, and he was a very quick driver, setting a blistering lap. Was the first man to the 116s at one point, but yeah, he's a very quick driver, so you better watch out for him in qualifying today.
Absolutely agree with you there. And then when you were talking about those sharp right-hand turns which catch people out on traction, Jeffrey, who's about to start the lap now, spun on his in-lap.
Yeah. Oh, okay, I scratched that. Liam just goes in a 17-0. I'll commentate from that, but also forgot that the man here, Liam, in Alfa Romeo, is taking some points in for his second race for the team. We'll see how it goes, see him port him out. escaping the 1-4 because Alfa Romeo is from Italy. It helps the the relationship with Alfa Romeo at Italy. But if the Italian Grand Prix takes gets a podium from P2 from there. But for AlphaTauri, because they're Italian, first race for Alfa Romeo at China, got a podium there. It was decent. But now in Portimao, where he could show his pace somewhere. But we're waiting from that. You can look at any. It's your turn to try and get the commentate. Well, I'll check the standings.
Absolutely. We're gonna go on board now with man like Mark 1435. He's on the lap right now. He's the teammate of Liam Hiley. He set a decent first sector and he goes purple in the middle sector with a 52.0. That is a very competitive middle sector split. He's now in the penultimate corner of the track. Takes it nicely, hook up the inside curb there and open up the traction on the exit of the corner. Now the flat out right-handed, this one should be easy. It's like a roller coaster, up and down, short line to the start finish. And what will it be? It's P2, 3/10 behind Liam Hiley, his teammate.
Exactly, and it's a very nice lap from him. I think from Ross goes for another lap. This track is good with these type of things for these drivers. Still yet 4 tricks to come out the pits, championship leader, and I've sent you the standings. And it's a very nice one because if we check from the standings that Trix is leading after winning 2 of the 3 rounds, but not much is bit much. He's got 22 points, nearly a full race distance. He's about full race distance ahead of Liam, who's shining up now. But we'll see if anyone can match the pace of the of the Alpine.
Yep.
You can go.
And should we now go on board with I'm a Wild Matt? Let's see how he will do this lap. Oh, but he invalidates on the entry of or the exit of turn 1, so that is a shame. He'll go around though and start another lap.
We're on Roland sets the lap on the mediums. I think he wants to set the pace on the mediums, but EA just gets a bit deep. He goes on the gravel to let Zaki go past. Is he out? No, he's not out yet. Trix is still in the pits, probably just waiting for the moment for it. Meanwhile, on board with Viper in the Red Bull, invalidates a very wide corner to be fair, but he lost so much time from there. I think we're on from Tyrone behind. Now just trying to look for a nice. Their purple second sector. Not sure if that is true or not because this game will take a shock from it. Something's trying to make everyone's like saying you can go quicker. But Tyrone going around, going to the final corner where you want to be a bit tight to the line. Goes a bit wide and goes for the outer one and sets P11 time in the 18.5. So that from true pace, it's kind of not quick to be fair. Oh, yep. There's the man, Trix coming out of the pit lane. The championship leader, we'll see where his lap can turn up for the team.
Yep, and man like Mark now coming up to the line. He's going to set another lap. Will he improve though, coming up to the line? Ooh, he improves by a 1/10 of a second, but not enough to beat Liam.
Yeah, improves a bit. Trying again something. Liam nearly getting to the 116s already as a banker, which is to be a surprise. Because Q1, the track evolution will change throughout the sessions. But it's going to be a stronger one for Liam at the moment. Anyway, Jeffrey's trying to set a lap, but couldn't get the line right. Who are Tricks? We're going to look at Matt first before looking at Trix, the championship leader. Goes to the P3 time for him. So we'll see from Trix. Going to turn 1, he gets the apex good. He gets both exit cut. Oh, bit lagging, goes deep into the corner. Oh, he is very laggy. He's very laggy on the screen.
Ooh, and double A9 Tricks goes purple in the first sector. I don't know if that's true, but it looks like a very competitive time at 28.2. And yeah, double A9 Tricks is very laggy. Very.
Oh, and he's getting a bit caught up behind Jeffrey, who invalidates his lap. Yeah, he is very laggy.
This is unprecedented levels of lag.
Yep. Very difficult situation.
Well, Exotic though, 22.3 in the first sector. That is a very decent first sector from him. Let's go on board, maybe. Ooh, almost spins the car.
Good rotation up the hill and up and down. As what Norris said in 2020, it's like a roller coaster because all the ups and downs will trigger the stomach of the F1 drivers. But in the sim, it's just about just getting the line right. So purple second sector. The Mercedes is known to be a bit quick around here for Zotic. He showed that in both China and Imola with his raw pace. But can he get at least a good lap to battle with the Alpha males at the moment? Because the Alpha 1-2 at the moment. But what lap will this bring for Zotic? Not a lap, that's what I expect, but sets the same lap as Christix. So that is shocking.
The odds of that must be very, very small, but someone's coming up to the line now. It's Ronan on the medium tires, so he's clearly trying to save a set of softs for the Q2 and Q3, and he does it so well. At 18.1, that goes faster than some of the soft tire runners on medium tires. That is a very impressive lap.
And here comes Viper, who has Matt in front of him, he's on the out lap, so he literally has to get out of the way, or Viper, who is just ruining Viper's lap, basically. He's a bit not sure what Matt was doing, but Viper clearly lost a couple. Yeah, he goes into the pits. So at the moment, he hasn't set a lap yet. Meanwhile, Jeffrey hasn't set a lap yet. We'll just wait until he can do it. Meanwhile, Jamie is in the session, so we have a full car, well, a full team today. And what is going on here?
There's a little kerfuffle for position here, as they would say. A little gaggle of cars.
Yeah. There's Tom, and then Zaki, and then Tyrone behind. It's a bit weird on what happened, what is going on there. But we'll see if that will happen. We've got this Matt, who's on the same set of tyres, clearly wants to get a bit more of an improvement on his lap. Going now into this right-hander, the key thing is trying to get the apex. Goes down in third gear, try not to run wide, otherwise your lap will be invalidated. And now entering the two short hairpins. He didn't get the apex, but the important thing is trying to find a rotation now, the two corners, because he will give you the best line. He shifts up to fifth, and now getting the most line to go to the final corner. He's staying much closer to the line, passing Zaki on the way to the line. What is his lap? 16.8 already.
Whoa!
That's an impressive lap by Matt.
It's a very, very decent lap, especially for Q1 time, because the track is going to ramp up. There's going to be more rubber laid down on the track, which means more grip, more speed carrying through the corners over time. So as a 16.8, setting a 16.8 in Q1 at Portugal is a very impressive lap time. I have to admit.
Yeah, and meanwhile we got Viper, who's on the out lap. We have 4.5 minutes remaining. We didn't mention a time at all, but we know that I think basically Viper's on a out lap, Jamie's on an out lap, while Trix and Zaki on one, but Zaki invalidates. Well, Matt probably secures himself a Q2 spot, because when you're not there in Imola, Ferrari made an embarrassment for their home one because they didn't get into Q2. So both drivers were out in Q1, but in China they made a bit of a step up, but still couldn't get the bag. But we'll see if that will make it turn around. Well, Tom improved up to P8. And so at the moment, Jeffrey, Viper, Trix, and Jamie and Zaki are the ones who will be out if they can't get a quick lap in.
Absolutely, and WN Trix is now going to start one of his final flying laps, likely because his tires will be too old. He is still lagging all over the place, but we know that he does have the pace, so even if it doesn't look on the screen.
Oh, what happened to Viper? It was turning into that's turn 4, the uphill left-hander to that little miniature DRS straight. He was turning in, just don't know what happened to him basically.
He still had a purple first sector on my screen. I don't know if that was consistent.
Yeah, well, he lost a lot of time because he went off track. And he said purple second sector, so I don't know if this is the truth or not the truth. I don't know.
We will see. He's coming up to the penultimate corner now. Ducky doesn't hit the apex there. He's taking a bit of a wider line on the exit, as you can see on your screen. He's hitting that. He's just getting close to the right-hand side curve. He doesn't want to spin by taking too much of it. He's coming up to the line now. What will this lap be? Oh, it is
16. Wait, did he have enough fuel for 2 runs? We'll see from the sector 1. 2 minutes remain, so he can save. Not sure if he can't go all the way to the pit lane.
Yeah, but Jeffrey's not getting out of the way here. He's giving him some dirty air. This is really unsportsmanlike.
Trix might be out. Trix might be out in Q1 because he has a 22-1 and has to give a full recharge battery, the same as Zaki, but he recharged before.
And
so
he has no fuel.
Again.
He has no fuel. Look, his red signal is flashing, which means he's out of fuel.
He's on 1 lap of fuel. And we'll see from Trix. He has no fuel. Trix is out. That is unbelievable. The current championship leader is out of Q1, and the rival Liam and Ronan might go into Q2 with a massive advantage.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't know yet because he's still being able to push that car forward, and now I believe he has run out of fuel. You're right. So this is it.
We have 1 minute remaining. Viper's up to P15 on his lap. Meanwhile, Jeffrey doing another lap. Meanwhile, Zaki, he can still push. He's still pushing.
Oh, he's out. Oh, Trix has spun. Trix has spun. And that is curtains for him. That is it. That is over. Double A9 Trix is gonna start P20. The championship leader starts at the very back of the grid in round 4 of Division 4. What a turn in the championship this could be.
Yeah, and 10 seconds remaining. Brewster managed to get in on the line. At the moment, Viper, P15 at the moment, is under pressure of not making it. There are a man like Mark and Rice in the pit lane. And I think we got Tyrone on the grass with Jeffrey, who will be out, and time is up. Someone's up for everyone. I think, yeah, Tom's entered the pit lane. He'll be P8 and safe. Zotic will be safe in P13. Tyrone, P14. Oh, Brewster with a nearly a massive spin coming out of the corner. He clips the curb way too much. Now got himself into a spin. Well, not a spin, a little bit of a spin, but he needs a big lap, but invalidates. So Brewster is out, and Zaki is out as well. So Viper is safe, Tyrone is safe. But the biggest shock in qualifying at the moment is the championship leader, Trix, in the Alpine, is out in Q1 and will start bottom last of the grids.
That is Very true, and that is very shocking. We did not expect that when coming to this track and to this race. But did he also maybe have lag problems on his end, on his screen? It did look like he was going back or freezing at certain points. So maybe it was actually lag which also affected him at one point. Because a 22-1 is a very uncompetitive time.
Yeah, and we might just well give a round of applause to Ronan, who managed to get into Q2 on the set of mediums. So it looks like because he did that, he might, I think, yeah, if we see from there, he's in P10, 1.2 seconds behind his teammate, but on the mediums. So if he had that good pace on those mediums, I think he might. I think he's going to try and go into Q3 on the set of softs. But
Absolutely.
there's your there's your running time after Q1. Matt, who got pole position in Div 5 yesterday, tops Q1 with a 16.885 and a 10th quicker than Liam in P2. Alpha Male doing very well for second and third. The ones who we lost are, if I remember correctly, if I remember my head because I forgot to check, we lost Zaki, we lost Brewster, we lost the championship leader, Trix, and we lost the two halves of Jeffrey and Jamie. And Viper, I thought he retired on track. Well, he actually crashed, but he managed just to save it, and he will be racing in Q2 until we can get this underway. And it will be a very entertaining one because this will be the choosing of what is a strategy call for Q2, because either mediums or softs. This is a strategy which Q2 is known for, strategy calls, and whoever gets it right will win the race, as it normally turns out.
Absolutely, and I completely do agree with you that strategy will play a big role here. But from experience, the alternate strategy is not as good here as on other tracks because the difference at the start is just so massive. So when you're on the soft compound tires at the start, you can pull away heavily, very much, and then they will, even if the softs are faster at the end, they will not be able to catch up. So sure, you can try and gamble to get through on the alternate strategy, but it does not necessarily mean that it is the quicker strategy. It is very even at this circuit.
Yeah, in the moment as we look at it, is Tom. So at the moment, the medium runners on track is Tom, Mark, Christix, and Bank. And I think I think it's Matt. We're going to go on board with the Willenshire. We're going to set the first lap of Q2, winding up, going to the final corner. Going to be about 75% as he crosses the line. Start the lap, and now going into turn one, trying to get a nice apex because the car will bit right out as you hit the curb. Getting a good apex, trying to get a nice touch on it and get a bit of even speed to get off this hill, and try not to one ride onto it because you'll invalidate your lap. They'll be there and gone. And going into this hairpin, getting the apex right and go all the way to the right hand side, which gives you a bit more traction speed. And now entering the double right hander, the easy one, don't try to click out the curb. And now this one, trying to keep the car as smooth as possible, because if more speed into that corner will try to spin you out. So trying to get a medium speed in. And now in this corner, trying to nail the apex, trying to get as wide as possible, just get a nice apex. And now the double short hairpin to the left hander gets the apex very well, and now getting the apex very nicely, and now entering the last corner where you have to try and get as closer to the apex as possible and get a short run to the line. Matt, for the first lap in Q2 is a 17.3, so I don't know where the extra time is, but that's a bit of a one. But Liam with an 18.0, don't know where that comes from. And Mark, 17.7 on the medium, so that's a decent medium run, and that will be it.
Absolutely agree with you there, and that's a very decent run from a man like Mark compared to Liam. But Liam probably very likely made a mistake because that's a second slower on the same compound tires than his Q1 lap. Capitic Bank now goes 79, also on the medium compound tires. Christex and Tom the Bomb also crossed the line behind Liam though. Yeah, but Matt, everyone is setting slower times than they did in Q1. Even Matt the Mark, whose lap looked very decent.
Yeah, we thought it was going to look like it's just into the 116 for the like already, but we didn't see that. I think he probably messed up the third sector or something. He probably get messed up in one of the sectors, but it's all right. But we'll see from anything else if there's a decent lap anywhere. I mean, well, from Gromit, some people. Yeah, he's backing off. He's backing off his lap because he knows that there's nothing else he can do. Summer Night. He has no fuel, but does he want to go in the pits? No. He's doing his lap. Has zero energy, but goes quicker than the median of an 18.5. And Gromit will go, I think he'll go into the pits. Meanwhile, Viper getting closer to the apex and setting a 19.1. It's a bit slowest of all on those tyres. Meanwhile, Zotic goes P5 and 18.2. So at the moment, the medium runners are going quicker than some of the softs.
Yeah, it's a very interesting order of the grid at the moment. Of course, it's not Q3, it's not the final decision, not the final classification of the starting grid. It's only the bottom 5 of Q2 that are determined. But varying order here, as you said, between the medium tire runners and the soft tire runners. Anyone on the lap? Ronan is about to start a lap. Let's go on board with this lap. He's taking a wide entry into the last corner to carry as much speed down this straight. You don't want to do this on your actual lap, but on the out lap that is very smart to do. Now coming up into the first corner, uses as much of the entry curb on the left hand side, just misses that curb on the entry a tiny bit. The apex hits this apex very beautifully. Liam, as I'm saying, makes a 17.351 to go fastest in Q2, showing us what he can do. But Ronan doing a 22.4, fastest first sector. It's showing us. Let's see how he can do for the rest of the lap. Takes a very nice exit there, clips the curb on the left hand side, also on the entry curve there. Nice apexes all around. Don't take too much of that curb as well, because it will spin you out completely. Stick to the left hand side, go as deep as you may wish on this left hand side to carry as much speed on the exit of the corner. Takes that very nicely. It's a 52.4 middle sector split. That's a very decent middle sector. Hooks up. It's a late turn in this corner because it hits you out of nowhere. It's a blind corner. Now here you can hit the apex and go wide. Oh, he just misses the apex a bit. He goes wide. He goes very wide on the exit. Now just hit that curb on the right hand side. Use as much of it as you dare. Then to the line. Let's see what this lap is.
A P4 lap, which is decent, and as you said, Liam goes quickest, but he's on 3 lap older tyres, which is not the correct tyres to go on normally, and he's only about 200th of a second quicker, which shows that, I don't know, it just kind of shows that there's a bit better. I think Matt has a bit of a better pace on 1 lap tyres, because Liam has to do like about 2 extra laps if he wants to get that quick.
Absolutely, he needs 2 out laps to get his tyres into the right temperature working window, which is fair enough. We saw this in real life as well on this track, but we do not know if it is something to do in the game.
From Tyrone, it's just a purple second sector, and entering the second last corner. Didn't get the apex quite enough, but now gets a bit of a curb, and now just trying to get as closer to the curb as possible, taking a short run to the line, cover distance, and an 18.0. It's in P7 at the moment. And it's a bit decent ones to be fair. And Matt invalidate. Gromit has invalidated. At the moment Ross and so at the moment halfway through the session, Liam on top for Alfa Romeo. Meanwhile Tom in the AlphaTauri, Viper and Gromit in the Red Bull, Matt in the Ferrari and Ross in the Alpine will be out in Q2. Ross and Gromit still yet to set a lap in at the moment. Now, telemetry, Matt has enough to go again on his lap. So we'll see from Matt. We'll go on board with the Ferrari. Turns to turn one, turns in at the 50-meter boards, gets the apex beautifully, and now quick shift to the hairpin. Shift, stay in second gear to get the car a bit rotated. Fifth gear gets the car a bit wide. Got a bit slide to get the hairpin, but that works. So 21.9, that's a good English. That's a good first sector from the Ferrari. So it's a bit more technical as we saw from there. But now to this right hand, didn't get the apex more as we saw, but trying to get as much minimum speed as possible. Oh, Ross has spun on that. Gromit has stayed, just set at 52.6. That's a wide one. 51.9, so that's a good lap for Matt. He's the same as Liam, did I think a bit more on the out laps. Oh, it's a bit laggy from Matt. Not sure if this will cost him time. Did has to lay off the gas a bit. And now into the final corner. Gromit goes to P8, and Matt going to cross the line. Sets a 17.3, puts him P2. But 5 milliseconds behind Liam. So that was a good lap from the Ferrari, but slow, so close.
Yep, and I don't know if I'm just seeing things, but on my screen, man like Mark is about to go out on the wet compound tires. I believe that's for a bit of banter, but it's funny to point out.
Yeah, it is. And Viper going to do another lap. But yeah, Gromit's time goes to P9. At the moment, the deadline is an 18.3, so Gromit might have to go and do another lap because at the moment, the 2 tenths. Anyone can find a couple tenths in their lap if they can go a bit more of a send. But we'll see if that will work at any time. At the moment, the medium runners, Malak, Mark and Bank, into the 117s of the mediums, there's P6 and P7. So if anyone else is not setting a speed...
That's a really good middle sector by Ross G7. He's gone a 52.2. That is a definite purple middle sector split. So coming up to the line has been a very clean lap. Final corner, as I always say, take as much curb as you dare. Takes a very wide exit as well, not maximizing the run to the line. Goes up P5 with a 17.5, not bad.
Yeah, not bad at all. And meanwhile, we're going to look at... Oh, Viper's invalidated, so he refueled to go again. Summer Night is on a lap. Meanwhile, Tom needs to go lap in if he wants to go in. And from his first sector, he's already up on this time. And we have 2.5 minutes remaining, so anyone who wants to go on the outlap has to. And it's from Bank and Mark, because they're not sure if their medium lap will secure them a Q3 spot. So it looks like everyone will qualify in the top, well, into Q3 on the set of mediums. But now Tom, going across the line, he'll have no energy going to the line, but it sets a good second sector split. What lap will this bring for the AlphaTauri? A P5! And another 5 milliseconds quicker than Ross, even though he had no energy going to the line. Yeah, also from Christix, going to the line for the AlphaTauri. One might be safe. Will the other be safe? Is Christix to the line? in no improvements. Not sure if he can try and set another good lap. We'll see. Meanwhile, Viper done the last fuel. This might be the only moment for Viper. Can he go to the lot? Can he go to Q3? No, he does not. Viper is out of Q3, out Q2. The Red Bulls might have one driver in Q3, but one will not be, and that is Viper. But there's a few more coming across the line. Liam, there's Matt on a lap, there's Rice as well. A few drivers are just on their own laps, to be fair. Mark's on the out lap. Bank has to get another lap in. We've got Tyrone's doing his first sector split. And then Christix, he's doing an improvement on his lap. Sorry. Yeah, and now one might be safe, and I said before, Christix, two races in a row in Bahrain and Imola. He started last on the grids twice, but in China made improvements. Can this be another streak for him? Goes to P8. Will this bring both AlphaTauris in or not? Summer Night goes to P10. Just a fraction on that. Meanwhile from Tyrone. Checker flags out. Tyrone's going very slowly. He is out in Q3, not in Q2. I don't know why I said that, but this goes in P12. Meanwhile,
Man like Mark, exactly. He's on a very good lap at the moment. I've been on board with him since the middle sector. Let's see what he can do. P7 improves by 0.3 of a second though, and that is a 4/10 margin to getting out of Q2. So that will surely see him through now.
Yeah, we see from Bank. He goes top of the 17.2.
It's a very good lap there.
It pushes Christis into the bottom one. I'm not sure, is Summer Night improvement? If he's improving, Christis
No, Summer Night is 4 seconds down. Summer Night is 4 seconds down. He's not gonna improve on this lap.
Oh, yeah, you're right. So that is qualifying over, but Liam is improving on this lap. I think he's known about his time to not try and get this. Why is he slowing down?
Why doesn't he just go into the pits?
Does he know that he will race on 3-lap old tyres?
That's not really smart.
That is very odd from Liam. Well, hopefully it might be what we'll see what his strategies are. We're not sure on that, but we'll wait for Christix and Summer Night in, and 2 Red Bulls, 2 Aston Martins, and Zotic. I complimented about his pace, but looks like I just took karma from that because I should not. I think commentator's curse. It was commentator's curse struck again. Zotic is out in Q2 with not a good lap, to be fair, but that is qualifying over, and there's a few drivers using a shout up for pole position. It's a very nice Q3 we have here.
I absolutely agree with you, and 2 drivers there getting through into the top 10 on the medium tires, and that could play a very important role in the race, because Liam and Matt are both currently in the top 4, only 0.2 of P1, which is a 17.2, and on medium tires you'd expect them to be about 6-7 slower. So if we make the math, they could be doing up to 16.6s or 16.5s come the end of Q3. But let's see and get into it.
Yeah, and as you see that forgot who was the one who was back? Yeah, it was Bank. The McLaren fastest on the dying depths to try and get into Q3 and gets top with a 17.2, so around 0.4 off the fastest in Q1 as we saw. But Now we see, well, as you saw, the ones who are out for the recap. Summer Knight, Tyrone, the two Assassins are out. Gromit and Viper, the two Red Bulls, are out, and Zotic, who are complimented about his pace, but his pace today it's not looking the best. We'll get the tyres. Well, the tyres will be soft tyres of the way, so we'll keep that in. And telemetry will bring that out. And the first one on track is Christix, who is entering turn 4. Who are Liam and Ross is coming down the pit lane. We see a bit of a Ronan coming down the pit lane. And yeah, Q3 is now on the way. And there's a few shouts today. Who's your prediction for pole position?
Pole position, I think Matt could be getting pole position here. He's had a very, very good qualifying in Q1 and Q2, and he looks very comfortable in his car with his setup. He looks in the zone, in the right mindset, in the right mood, and he's hitting every corner very beautifully, every apex as well. Let's see what he can do, but it's up for grabs really. I mean, Liam could grab it. I'm a wild Matt. Also, the other Matt could grab it. Capitic Bank, if he improves on his time from Q2, he could also definitely grab pole. It's really up in the air. Even Ronan could grab it. Of course, he is also in that top 3 in the championship. So it's really up for grabs. Let's see who will do his best.
Yeah, and now we're going to look at Christix, who's probably going to send the first lap of Q3. Let's see, it's a decent one. We're going to go on board with him for this, well, for the second sector. Get the apex, a bit nice. Try not to get it. Oh, there's Tom gets a fireplace grid penalty with collision with Bank. Not sure what happened there, but it just came up all of a sudden.
Yep, there was like a gaggle of cars in the last sector, guys all trying to get a lap, and the people were just blind coming into the last penultimate corner. They didn't see the cars in front of them, so they just made contact.
Yeah, now Christix and now entering the second sector, trying to get the apex. He misses it by quite a much, but 52-1, that's a decent second sector for the AlphaTauri. And now if he can try to set a decent banker, that could be a top 5 for one AlphaTauri, while the other one is looking a bit ropes at the moment. Tom needs to hope for a bit of a top 5 spot, so he will stay in the top 10 at the moment. But now Christix setting a 17.3 as the first banker.
Yeah, and Liam is on an absolute flyer. Did a 51.9 middle sector split, the fastest middle sector split we've seen all qualifying Q1 and Q2. This could be an absolute flyer of a lap. He's run out of ERS. He's coming up to the line now. It's a 16.9. That's a very good banker for Q3.
Yeah, that is. Meanwhile, Rice is setting up his lap. Meanwhile, Mark. Can he join the front row with his teammate? Sets a 17.5, does not make it that much. Tom goes P4. Both Williams invalidated. So he's looking a bit worried for the Williams. Matt has not to get a lap in. Meanwhile, we're going to look on board with Rice. Sets a 22.1 as the first sector. So now, well, Bang's in the pits after messing up a bit of his lap. Now we're Stephen Rice getting a bit of the apex right, and now entering the roller coaster section where there's a bit of a dip, but now going in a bit of a hill area. Oh, a bit missing the apex, trying to get a bit more confident. 52.0. That's a decent lap from Rice. Getting the apex absolutely nailed on into the second last corner. Getting the apex beautifully, trying to get the rotation as much as possible. And now to the final corner. Does he take a bit of curb? He takes a small bit of curb and go for a short run to the lot. Oh, what the?
He must have made a mistake there. He must have thought that, oh, I could have gone a little bit quicker there. So he thought, I'm not going to waste time. I'm going to go straight back into the pits and show them what I can actually do.
Oh, and there goes Bank. Bank's coming out of the pit lane.
Perfect timing.
Yeah, meanwhile, Ronan and Matt are doing their 2 laps. Well, Matt's in the pit. Oh, both Williams in the pit. So
Yep.
I don't know why they.
Ronan spun
both-
at turn 7, I believe. He spun on the entry and that spin carried him all the way through because it's a double right-hander. So that's why he went back into the pits.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean. So at the moment, the top 5 has set a personal lap of them. Personal lap at the moment. Well, the other 5 are still yet to do one, and one of them is Bank, who is on an out lap. He has time to do one lap and finish one and go in. He has set a bit of a perfect time to do a lap, to be fair. But we'll see what his lap can do if he has time. It's a bit looking good for McLaren, but the two McLarens in Q3 is a decent. At the moment, we just have a lot of teams with 2 of their drivers in, except for Ferrari and Alpine, because we have 2 AlphaTauris, 2 Alfa Romeos, 2 McLarens, and 2 Williams drivers.
Yep, and let's go off-board with Capital Bank now, shall we? He's the only guy on track about to start a lap. Let's see what he can do now. He's going up to the first corner. He uses a lot of the entry curb. Looks like he hits the apex very beautifully, runs down, carries a lot of momentum through there, doesn't use a lot of the entry. Oh, he misses his apex a bit and that affects his run all the way through the next sequence of corners. Doesn't spin on that corner, carries a lot of momentum through. Looks like a purple first sector, 21.9, that is a purple first sector, that looks very good. He's now taking a lot of that exit curb. Capital Bank is on a very good lap here so far after the middle first sector. He's coming up now to the tricky part of the track. Don't spin here because that was very easy to do. Doesn't spin and he keeps a lot of momentum through with him. He's now going through up to the end of the second sector. Make sure, he completely misses his apex there. That cost him up to maybe 3/10, and he's a 10th down on Liam in the middle sector split. That cost him up to 3/10 maybe. Oh, and he keeps on hitting the apex. His tires are probably overheating. This is a scruffy end to a lap here for Capital Bank. But he's going to probably finish it off here, or will he come into the pits? Let's see what he can do.
Yeah, and well, he can't go into pits because he has to set a good lap. It's a 17.3, so at least he's on the second lap of it. But it could have been more, as if he tried not to set it one. Meanwhile, from Matt, we're going to look on board with. Yep, Matt's looking a bit good at the moment. He gets the first couple of corners right on the jar. Gets the apex good. At the moment, Liam is about a 10th off of the Q1 fast lap, which is strange, you know, because on the Q3 should have a bit more runner, but we'll see by the end because probably Liam's saving up for a massive one. Then that was probably why he slowed down at the end of Q3 because you know he's going through on the set medium, I think on the mediums. So I think he just used his time and saved it. 51.5 by Matt. That's a decent second sector from the Williams driver. If he keeps it in, it could be a provisional pole position. We'll see from that, and now entering getting the apex beautifully, and now entering this right hander. If he gets the apex absolutely nailed, what time will this be for the Williams driver? 16.5. What a lap!
And I predicted it correctly, I knew it. I saw Matt's times through Q1 and Q2 and how he was building it up. He just showed so much confidence in the car. And he just nailed every apex, every corner perfectly in that lap. And he's put it all together to put a 16.5. That is very competitive with the times of Div 2 and Div 1, which we will expect in the coming days.
Yeah, and that is a very nice lap. Matt is probably a future driver in the league because of that amazing lap. It's a bit of a shocker in sector 2, but he did a very nice job to keep the car under control and everything. And Banks had a good lap winning P3, but we'll see if he have enough time to go out again. The 6 might not have enough time. But
Yeah.
from Ronan. It's a bit of a mess up going to that corner. Not sure what happened with him, but Matt, we're going to look at Matt first. He's going to take the apex. He's going to set a lap. He will not have enough time to do another lap, so this has to be his only lap. Ends a P3, that's a good lap from him. Liam's a validate!
He has time
But,
though, he has time, he has cut the corner.
Yeah, we've got Rice in the McLaren, says a P2 time, goes to the 116s and pushing Liam to P3. So 3 drivers at the moment into the 116, so times are going down. Ronan's backed off because he wanted to go again. Meanwhile, Mark and Liam are going to start their last laps to do. Bit more running. It's more running against the clock at the moment. you can take over a bit.
Absolutely, and in the midst of that, I believe, as you said, A Rice just went up to P2 with a 16.8, 3/10 off of P1, which is Matt R, who looks like he's gonna get pole position here if no other person can stop him. Tom the Bomb coming up the line now. He's up by 200th of a second. It's not gonna be enough that he improves, but it's not enough to see him on pole position. The Ferrari coming up the line now. He goes into the pits.
Liam's up on it. Liam's up on his time.
Liam is up on his time. He's 2/10 up now, coming into the tricky right-hand series of right-hand corners. This one known for its infinite spins. Oh, he hits that very nicely. Uses even the exit curve like the esports drivers do it. Now make sure you do hit this apex. We've seen a lot of drivers like Bank not hit the apex all, but he takes lots of it and he does it beautifully. It's a 51.6 middle sector split. The track is ramping up. It's a 10th slower than Matt's middle sector, but could he pull a last sector here out the bag, which could see him on pole position? If he carries on like this could definitely be at least the front row here for Liam, but does he want that pole position? What can he do? He's coming up the line now, keeps it nice and clean up to the right hand side of the track, minimizing the distance to the finish line. He goes P2, misses out by 400ths of a second. What a gutter for Liam. Sets a purple middle and first sector, but he lost all of that time in the first sector.
Yeah, and Ronan invalidated after turn 4, so it will start P10. But Matt, just round of applause for him, because that is, you predicted that, and that is out of nowhere. Just coming in with that amazing second sector and just absolutely blitz that time to shreds. But what a lap that was.
It was a very impressive time.
Yeah, and unfortunate for Liam behind. I think the third sector probably got him if he had not good apexes. If he probably nailed that one apex, that would have got him that pole position. But he is just unbelievable there, and it's about, oh well, it's just, we're only dreaming to see that. But that is an impressive lap from Matt. With 16.564, 3400th of a second quicker than Liam, followed by Rice in P3, Matt in P4, Mark in P5, Bank in P6, Alpha Towers in P7, P8, Ross in P9, and Liam, who hadn't set a personal best lap, will start in P10. But P9, because Tom has a 5-second penalty, so that will be 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. His 13th, he's starting 13th on the grid because of that, which might, well, probably not be as good as possible, but we'll see.
Yeah, we will see, and of course that's a big blow for Tom the Bomb, who got into Q3 on the soft compound tires, and now with his penalty will have to start behind the medium tire runners on soft, because he cannot select it, even though he's starting in the top 10. He did go through to Q3 on soft, which is why he will have to start in that position.
And it's a dry, yeah, and it's very, a very nice, nice session. And this is going to be a very nice lap. Well, not a nice lap. I don't know why I said
Formation,
lap,
nice formation lap. Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be a very. We'll see if this can be a very good one. And we're going to look at tyres, lap delta, take that off, and strategy-wise, the top two, Liam and Matt, on the set of these medium tyres because they qualified on them. And so the drivers out of the top 10, we got Tyrone on the mediums, Gromit on the mediums, Zaki on the mediums, Jamie on the mediums, Jeffrey on the mediums, and Trix, who's starting last on the grid, last place on the mediums. And for some reason, Zaki just decides just to go poof. He's right there. He just goes from 16th on his position grid to go first on the formation lap. If that was real life, if that was an actual start, he will have like the best lap ever. But it's a formation lap, and I think he wants to get there first.
Agreed with you there, and it's not really a smart choice from the Ferrari and what he's doing, because that means he's going to be sitting on the grid the longest out of everyone. He clearly wants to get a move on with this formation lap. He's probably in a rush. But Zaki, it's not the smartest decision from him, but not to forget, double ANAU as Brewster and Exotic, the two Mercedes drivers.
Oh, that was fun. Oh, Trix is he ghosted?
Yeah, he looks like he's left the session. Is he the championship leader? If he is, has left the session. I don't know if it's a disconnect or if his Wi-Fi is simply crashed. But this could be a massive blow.
Yeah, with Liam and Ronan trying to get as much points as possible, but we'll see. Okay, I'll do the start, but I'll be out of breath after the first lap, so you can take over after lap 1. Oh, he's back. Trix is back. But it will be after the race restart, which will probably be the safer strategy. Right, here we go. The fire red lights for the race. There we go, green in Portugal. It's a good start from Matt, and Liam has a good start as well. The two rivals going side by side, and Matt has to give the position away to Liam, so Liam will take the lead after turn 1, and bang, already 3-second time penalty at the start. It looks like he's got a 3-second time penalty. He's all the way down the grid. There's multiple switching positions left and right. Zaki, who we complimented before, is going all the way. Oh, and he's out. Okay, I compliment him, and he's out. So that is not a good one.
It's a virtual safety car as well, so it's a full safety car, so all the drivers will have to obey to the delta and go back round and catch up to the safety car. So a bit of a chaotic start, lots of position changes as it stands.
Yeah, and Gromit has no front wing on his Red Bull, so the safety car does help with him, and I did compliment him, but it was actually at the wrong time. But that was my fault, basically. And the two Mercedes who we joked about,
P10 and P11. That is a very impressive start. So you'll have to see a replay of that later after the race. But they surely must have just stayed out of the trouble and got their way back up into the point-scoring positions.
Yeah, and that might will give Matt a bit of a run because he'll be there, and then they'll be behind the safety car after turn 4. We'll see Gromit getting the 3-second time penalty, but he's trying not to get a penalty. But he should not get a penalty because it's a safety car. Slowing all the way down to the pit lane to get a tyre setup.
Yep, he's gonna change his tires. He's probably gonna go onto the soft compact tires, go around, and then pit again for the medium tires, so he can take those tires till the end of the race. I mean, it's a very smart gamble. It's one that really could pay off for him.
Oh, Matt goes down to P5, and it's a very at the start we'll go about. What should we give it at the start? Basically, like 7 out of 10.
Yeah, a solid 7 out of 10.
Yeah. It was basically like half a lap and safety car.
Yep, and Trix as well, the Champions leader. He's back. He's P18 still at the moment, but he's back in the lobby, back in the race. So
we saw a bit of contact between Christix and Matt, but thankfully the stewards, there's nothing between them. But it's looking a bit shaky out there.
Yep.
And because Roland nearly hits the back of Ross. And there is Summer Night is in AI mode. And with AI, if you overtake the AI and just back off, they'll back off with you.
Oh.
So it will be a bit of an issue. There's a lot of people in AR mode. Just checking if there's like penalties or anything.
Absolutely, 2 people at the moment have penalties, both in the bottom 4 of the current
there goes
grid.
Matt. Yeah, Matt's in the pits. It's the front wing.
Oh, he's retired.
Oh, what?
That doesn't make sense. Why would you retire?
If that, I don't know. And also, that's 2 Ferraris gone already.
The 2 Ferraris.
That is weird.
We've got that on stream. That is very, very strange.
There was nothing wrong with the car because the car pitted and there was no front wing damage.
No front wing damage. It's only lap 2 of the race. You're in a solid top 10 position, and you retire for no reason. Unless something happened at his house. Of course, personal reasons, we do not know at this current moment what happened.
Or he has no time.
Yeah.
Which is another personal reason. And Bio's in. Probably because one's out of the lobby.
Okay, I have an update. Matt says that he retired because his internet was under safety car.
So he has a bit off internet.
And the safety car.
Okay. Oh, wait a second. We lost Viper.
Viper retired in the mid.
What the? We just lost 3 in 3 laps.
We have lost 2. We have lost 3 drivers, and we have not even noticed it. This is how quickly things are happening at the moment, and Liam is about to give us away.
Yeah, we lost Zaki on lap 1, we lost Matt on lap 2, and we lost Vibe on lap 3. Alright, we'll say another 4th on lap 4 or something, we'll see.
We're gonna run out of laps.
Liam going to do the restart, and he's going now, he's going now, and Matt getting a good restart, trying to get ahead of Rice. Some of them trying to warm up the tyres, meanwhile Roland's trying to look at Ross for P5. He has a bit of car length to get ahead, side by side, but rolling in position, he's up to P5.
Very good overtake there from him.
Oh,
and Jamie and Tom, the bomb, are both into the pit, so they must have picked up damage there under the safety car. They're both getting a wing change.
Summer Night, I don't know what is this angle, not showing anything, but still cool. But yeah, Tom on the mediums and Jamie on the set of hards, so he's going to try and go a bit longer. on there. And now Tricks up to P13. Oh, what the
it's a spin for Jeffrey. Jeffrey has spun at the spin corner.
And Gromit just goes through Tricks.
Wow, so...
what is going on?
Tricks lag.
Now it's no longer a race. This is a survive race.
Drive to survive, literally. Or survive to drive, I should say. But Matt is going to be very frustrated there. He got pole position and he got it taken away from him on the start. He feels like he's the quicker driver because he won qualifying.
You got Mark overtaking the Alpine and moving up himself into a P6 spot. But the Alpine's he's trying to fight back, but he's even fighting Brewster around. Oh, and he gets front wing damage. Wait, no, he does not. He overtook Mark around turn 4, like, ease!
And the 2 wide down, there's lots of wheel banging here at the moment.
Oh, and another wheel bang! And Mark's just getting position.
And Ross now is going to try and get back at Brewster here, who he thinks better of it, but this is giving Exotic a chance as well. The 2 Mercedes here trying to work together in bed. Oh, and Brewster almost spins there on the exit of that corner. He's about to lose DRS touch from the car ahead of him if he doesn't be careful, and Ross is right on his tail. But Exotic Exotic has a better exit.
That is Jeffrey, who spins at the same spot twice now. And Rice is now in the DRS of Matt, who's trying to get in the DRS of Liam, who's now checked out at the moment, out of the DRS zone. But Matt, with the pace he has, probably tries and get another one. Oh, Jeffrey spins again.
And the 2 Aston Martins are gonna swap positions here. It's not strategic. Oh, there we go. Yep. It has. Oh, but he's gonna run out. He's gonna lose out to Gromit. It might
cost him.
Ooh, down the inside. No,
nice.
He holds it. Oh, that's a good defense there from Tyrone, but it was a mistake. He backed off a bit too much on that throttle. But Exotic now ahead is gonna go for a move down on Ross. Ross does not have DRS. Is he gonna send one down the inside? He pulls into the inside. Ooh, he doesn't brake too late. It's a bit of a half-hearted move. Then bang wheels a bit. Don't spin on the exit of the corner.
Summer size. And Exotic using a bit of its ERS to get
Exotic spins!
Oh!
He touches too much of the curb. Oh, and he gets hit as well, I believe, or no. I don't know what happened there, but it's utter chaos here at the back. And Tom the Bomb gets a 3-second penalty as well. Everything's happening at the moment.
Yeah, and Matt gets a penalty. Meanwhile, Summer Knight managed to get past Ross during that whole scrap.
Yep, and Rice now. Rice is going to go for an overtake on Matt here. Coming out to the final corner is only 6 tenths behind him. He has the DRS, but Matt doesn't have the DRS.
Yeah, Matt can't be able to farm behind, and Rice is too far back. Meanwhile, the other Williams driver, Ronan, will take P4 from Christix. But Christix going for the switchback. He does a brilliant move. He keeps his stick. He takes it. That is a very good move. Switchback from Christix. But Ronan's going to try to go again. He's going to go to the inside. Bit more on the brakes. Getting the apex.
Another switchback from Christix.
He tries to go for another one, but he had no ERS to try and fight with. So Ronan gets that P4 spot. And now he's a threat from man like Mark behind. And meanwhile Rice is probably trying to get another one. Meanwhile from this, Matt is trying to catch up to... They're catching up a bit to Liam at the moment, who is on low ERS. So he used some of his ERS to try and get out of the DRS. But that might be a mistake from him because he's a bit of a long shot away from there because Matt is nearly catching up. Oh, there's Bank versus Trix. Trix goes to it again. Bank's going in. Ooh. And taking that P13 spot. Oh, that is laggy.com.
Like that comment, he's closing in on Summer Knight now. He's gonna try and stay with him and maybe overtake him on the next ERS straight because Summer Knight is out of the ERS. He's under 10%.
Meanwhile, Chris is getting under pressure. Nearly spins out of turn 4. He's trying to give Mark the opportunity. Chris is trying to go for the bit of a dive bomb. Probably for a defence move. I think Mark tried to fake him into a bit of trying to get the overtake on Ronan, which nearly happened, but Chris sticks with it. Chris is on low ERS and Ronan's going to try and use some of it to try and catch up to this battle, because Rice, he's trying to use Matt to use some of his ERS to catch up to Liam. So once he gets the DRS, he can get the DRS of Liam. But lap after lap, the softs will go down and the mediums will go a bit higher. So this will be a bit of a scrap basically. While Ross, Gromit and Tyrone, it's a bit of a battle for P8 at the moment. While Bank and Trix just on their own. We'll see. Here's Rice. He's going to make the move on the Williams. Matt lets him through because he knows Rice will have more energy than him.
Oh, yellow flag, and I think it's Jeffrey, or is it Jamie? No, Jamie has spun.
That's Jamie. Now Ross overtaking Summer Knight for P8. And bangs in for his stop on the hard tyre. So he goes safe on end of lap 9, going P14 at the end. Will it be? Because there's McLaren. No, Jeffrey's. Oh, yeah, Jeffrey got a penalty, and Tyrone gets a pen. Everyone nearly has a pen. It's only Trix, Ross, Brewster, Manamar, Kristich, Ronan, Rice, and Liam who do not have a pen at the moment.
Oh, a 10-second penalty for Ronan. He must have been spun to cutting the corner. That sometimes happens on this open track. Oh, and that's a massive shame for him. Unless he gets that removed, that is gonna cost him massively because you cannot even serve that in the pit stop.
Yeah, you have to hope that is moved. Because Kristix is getting under pressure from Mark, who's going to get the P4 spot, and he is.
Clean overtake.
Yeah, clean overtake. We're now down to 6 drivers who does not have a pen. Well, 7 if Ronan's 10 seconds won't be removed. Unless he gets 3 or something. Meanwhile, lap 10, Rice is now trying to get the DRS of Liam, trying to use all of his energy to try and get a catch up on him. Meanwhile, Matt is trying to save his energy behind because he will bring Rice over to Liam, who's trying to get to regain his lead back. But it's not leading to nowhere. But it's just like a bit scrapping at the moment. So,
yep.
Scrapping.
And I'm a bit surprised.
Does Liam manage to get ahead of Rice in the DRS? No, Rice managed to get the DRS. No, he doesn't. Okay, my bad. Liam managed to scrapes it. But Matt does not want to overtake him. He knows from that. Is there any other ones? We got Summer Knight chasing Tyrone. Meanwhile, Zotic tries to battle with Summer Knight, but backs off. And there goes Gromit. Oh, okay, bro. Okay, he gets a 3-second pen. So if that 10 seconds was removed, 6 active drivers remain. So Ronan, DRS.
Yep. And Gromit was looking really good. I'm surprised he didn't pit for mediums though.
All Trix. That is Trix in P13. Gets a spin.
It's not a good day for Trix at the moment. He is up a couple positions from P20, but it's not the day he would have been hoping for as the championship leader.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Rice trying to get in the DRS. Does he have enough to get in the DRS? We'll see. There's DRS. He does have DRS. Oh, Gromit, 10-second penalty.
Oh, and he crashes. So Gromit joins the 10-second penalty club, and
Safety
it causes
car.
a safety car.
And Ross immediately gets a nice one in. Something like really gets a dash in, followed by Mercedes. The Mercedes just gets in all of a sudden.
The Mercedes completely cut the entry there.
Medium tyres. So there's a medium tyre and someone like changing front wing, probably to check if he has any damage. This might be a good one for some of the drivers, so they can get a bit of a pit stop going.
Yep, and it brings Jamie and Tom the Bomb completely back into the race. It gives them basically a second chance at scoring some good points here for the team.
And this will be a situation. Does the medium tyres pit? Does Tyrone, does Matt, does Liam want to pit? Because the soft tyres, they can pit and get tyres to go to the end, unless a late safety car to go on the softs. But does this happen for any of the drivers?
And Trix leaves the session as well, so Trix has left the session. We expect Rice to now come into the pit, and Liam could also come into the pits for hard compound tires, because he's definitely not going to take the softs. Yep, they're all coming into the pits.
And there goes Rice, and here comes Matt. We'll see if does a double stack work for Williams. Probably. We'll see for the double stackers. Here comes Ronan. Try not to speed too much. Rice is on for the mediums.
And it's mediums again for Liam.
What does Matt put on? Hard tyres.
Yeah, that's not a smart strategy goal from Liam at all.
Well, soft tyres for Ronan.
Huh.
So I think he's going to look for a 2-stop.
Yeah, but he will not have the overspeed to pull away by 20 seconds. If there's not another safety car, Liam is in big trouble.
Yeah. Oh, that is.
Oh, that's Trix. So it says he's in the pits.
What is this car doing? His car is struggling to even get to the corner.
Yeah, he's apparently in the pits. I have no words.
Mate, his car is just like in neutral in first gear. Like, what is going on?
At this point, it's better if Trix joins back and retires the car.
Yeah, because no one wants to see the Alpine just basically just trying to nudge his way.
Yep, and it's gonna be a disturbance for everyone with their sidelines for the rest of the race, and he's gonna get lapped anyway here, so Trix is better off joining and retiring the car in the pits if he can do so.
Just like still looking at it, his car's still there. It's just, what is he doing? Tyrone leads, and it's the only one left who hasn't pitted, and it's on the set of medium tyres. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, Ronan comes in the pits. Probably figuring out that the soft tyres does not have the capabilities of nearly half the race distance.
Yep.
Then Tyrone stays out, risking to go for that soft tyre probably. What are the tyres on? Yep, medium tyres. And lag one. Does Jeffrey go ahead? Oh, Ronan gets ahead. He manages to get ahead of Jeffrey. Only just. So that is a.
But Rice loses a lot of positions.
What the hell? What is going on there? Okay, that is issues.
Yeah, that's gonna cause big problems. Rice just lost a lot of positions there.
Oh, Ronan gets a 5 seconds. Annoying yellow flag, but oh my god, this is just chaos now.
We need to hope that the safety car does come in this lap and that that they don't have to pass AA9 tricks again, because it's clearly causing issues. Maybe they will all have to cut the track at that corner.
Oh, and okay, here's the pens. There's 3 for Tyrone, 3 for Matt, 3 for Brewster, 3 for Zotic, 16 for Jeffrey, 3 for Summer Night, 18 for Ronan, 3 for Tom, 3 for Bank, and 3 for Jamie. But Ronan might.
Yep.
Ronan
When the safety car's in this lap, safety car is in this lap, so that's a.
Ronan probably might have a spin. That's why he had a 10 seconds, and he tried to get rid of that penalty he had for the illegal one, but there might be issues there with the other drivers. But Liam, twice now, going to try to get the party started by leading, and is now starting lap 15. Meanwhile, Matt going side by side with Tyrone. Can he go up ahead to second? He can, and goes up to P2 for the Williams driver. Meanwhile, oh, Brewster out of nowhere trying to get in position on Mallow Mark. And managed to hold around outside turn 4. He gets position done. And goes defensive in turn 4. And there's Ross and Christix having their own kind of scrapping moment. And
into the wall.
Oh, it's Jamie. And Bank. Meanwhile, Ross and Christus have their own lap for all couples. Meanwhile, Rice and Zotic. Zotic has to gracefully get that off. Just so Rice can just get the position, because he didn't want to get anywhere near him. Now here comes Ross on Christix. His battle keeps going up. This battle keeps on going on, and Christix gets the move done and dusted. But I think Ross is trying to fight. I think he's trying to fight back now. This is just an insane first lap. Oh my god, this is killing me.
It is an insane first lap, and Liam now leads Matt by 1.1 seconds ahead of Tyrone King, F1 Brewster, Matt like Mark Christix, Ross, Rice, Xotic, and Jeffrey coming out the top 10. But crucially, inside the top 10, only half of the drivers inside the top 10 have a penalty, at least a 3-second penalty. So if you don't get a penalty.
Oh, Ross was Christix again on lap 16, but Ross gets the move done with that dive bomb on the hairpin. And he gets position done, but nearly had a spin. And then might call Christix out. Does that include wing damage? We'll see. Does the car fine? The car is fine, so there's no front wing damage. But another hit on the Alpine, but no damage again. But this battle just keeps on going on and on. This is delivering good racing, but also some struggles. But Christix gets ahead of Rice's challenge on him. But Rice is just sitting at the back of Christix at the moment. And getting the absolute traction down. That's a very good move if Rice can try to keep that in. But Christix gets the slipstream and gets that position done. Meanwhile, Brewster in the battle with Tyrone, goes around the outside, tries to get it done. Does he get the position done? Brakes in, and Tyrone a bit late on the brakes. Meanwhile, Brewster has to go a bit wide to avoid contact. And now Tyrone looking for the move. And probably it. Goes a bit deep. Trying to give Tyrone some space, and he gets the position done. Meanwhile, Christix and Rice having their own more scrap. And Chris is getting the position back.
Brewster up 14 positions from his starting position in P17. He's having a wonderful race so far.
Oh, he goes Rice!
Oh!
He just drifts his way through and lost him P8. Could have lost in, oh, you could have lost in P7, could have lost in P8. Exotic's trying to find his way through. Meanwhile, Ronan's now in this battle with Tom behind. So at the moment, only 5 Liam, Man Like Mark, Ross, Christix and Royce all have it penalties left. Well, Liam has checked out. Well, he still has to pit. Oh, and there goes Ronan! There goes Ronan!
Oh my god, what a crash in the background. That looked horrific in the back. Luckily, he's still in the race though. How has he survived that? In the background, I was watching on the off camera from Liam Hiley, and in the background we could just see Ronan completely die into the side of the wall. I don't know how that was not a safety car, but Ronan now with front wing damage. This is the end of his race unless there's another safety car.
Oh, there goes Brewster against Tyrone. This battle's still gone. There's a battle for P4 and Trix has finally been disqualified.
Finally.
So turn 3 will now be safe. So everyone will not be afraid to cross over the championship leader. But, oh wait, he's disqualified. I forgot. Oh, Ronan's out. Please don't safety car. Well, Ronan's out. Unlucky from him. But we're now halfway through. And it's now turning insane now. Now Ross versus Man Like Mark. Mark, I think, did he give Ross the last space? Not sure from that. Now losing pressure to Christix. There might be a lot of stuff explained. Oh, here comes Rice. Get it here. Meanwhile, Man Like Mark trying to get Tyrone. And Rice trying to get the Alpha Tower. He gets position. He's just going in insane every lap goes everywhere. I don't know. I'm not sure if that's a
Tyrone spins. He keeps it together though. He doesn't die, but that has cost him a lot of time.
And now here's Ross. Yeah, gets the move on Christix for P6, and he gets it done. Meanwhile, I think Liam's trying to get as much pace as possible because... Oh, that is a bit... Oh, no!
Oh! And that's rear wing damage, I believe.
That is unlucky from Rice. He got damage from that.
Yeah, but Brewster as well, he was having such a good race. And it's all been completely turned upside down. He has rear wing damage. He cannot grip his tires at all on the track. He might as well retire in the pits. He has no rear grip. He slammed he slided with his rear into the back of the tire barrier, and he will whoa! Yeah.
Here comes Zotic, making the move. Alpha Tower for the Mercedes. Trying to go for the dive bomb, trying to put Christix in the middle, unshocking place. Meanwhile, Man Like Mark in position on Ross, who's just all over the place at the moment.
Exotic going for a move on Christix. He's going to go down the inside here. Oh, it's a bit of a half-hearted move. They make contact. They bang wheels a bit, but Exotic has the better traction at the exit of the corner, and he gets that move done.
Yeah, and I think Christix just allows it through because he knows Zotic I think he's going to fire as much as he can. And that's going at the back of Ross, who's just losing ground. Does he have damage?
Now he completely lost the rear ender on the exit of that corner just as Exotic overtook Christix. Ross had a massive snap of oversteer, and that has cost him a lot of time.
Yeah, and Tom and Bank having a scrap. Tom is completely losing the door on Bank, who's trying to get the switch back on him. But everything is just going off at the moment. It's just put into an insane looking race.
Yep, and Liam, don't forget, right? Liam still has to make a pit stop. He has not changed to a different compound of tires. So Liam, he's stressing himself now if he doesn't get a safety car soon, because he's gonna find himself in big trouble. He could drop down up to P9, P10, just on the edge of the points paying positions.
Is that Summonite? That is Summonite. Summonite has crashed. There he is, and rejoins right there. and now retires because he knows he's been lapped.
He retires on track.
Or Jeffrey and Tyrone have a bit of a scrap. Tyrone still yet to pit. He has to pit at some point because he can't go all the way. Well, it's gonna be dark, but it's still dry conditions.
Yeah, it's definitely not gonna be a wet race with only 12 laps to go. The track will not get that wet enough that you will have to switch to intermediates and make up a pit stop of time. But Liam right now, he's stretching his gap over Matt, who of course is on the hard compound tires, but Matt can take those tires to the end of the race. And Liam, like Lewis Hamilton, is just pumping in those fastest laps, in and in and in, every single lap. He's improving every single lap. He's showing some great pace when it really matters.
Here comes Ross. Here comes Ross trying to look for a move. He found a gap. Zotic left him with a gap. And it goes into turn 3. Second gear for the Alpine and gets the move done. Meanwhile, Christick's trying to look for the move on Zotic. He gets more traction and oh, that is questionable. Meanwhile, Christick's looking for a dive bomb into turn 5. Oversteer moment for him. Going side by side, the AlphaTauri for Mercedes. Going to back off first. Christick still holding it. He can go for the outside of the right side, and he gets it. It's a brilliant move.
Incredible! They were side by side for what seemed like half a lap. Incredible.
Yeah. Oh, okay, that's a time, and then Jamie hits the back of his teammate. Who luckily does not have wing damage, but that was unfortunate.
That is very unfortunate for him now. And look on the mini map how much of a gap Liam has to Ross and to man like Mark at the moment, his teammate, and then to everyone else on the grid. It's turning out that his strategy will not be as bad, but it will definitely cost him the win.
Yeah, and Tyrone has finally pitted. And it looks like there's Jamie, who had a spin. And Jeffrey's in. So, soft tires on for Tyrone. Looks like Jeffrey might be another soft tire, might be a medium.
And Jamie's gonna retire, I believe.
Yeah.
Or not.
Or it may be a double stack. You don't know. Meanwhile, Rice and Tom are in there with their own scrap at the moment on the soft tire. And at the moment it's Tom with a spin out of turn 4. He might be on the threat against Brewster if he's not to be able to maybe a crunch down. We have 10 laps to go as Liam sets lap 24. He still needs to pit, but we'll see. At the moment, Liam, because Liam is 25 points behind Trix, who disqualified and will not get any points. Liam, if he could have pitted for the hards, could have literally been tied with him, and probably with that fast lap could be ahead by 1 point. But chose the mediums. Oh, there goes Ross.
Oh, he is spun.
Oh no, he's spun. I think we're not sure if Rice set in the fastest lap. Bansin on the hard tyre. He's going to go for the medium tyre. Right. Christix is still looking the back of Zotic. Updated pens. 3 for Matt, 9 for Zotic, 6 for Tyrone, 3 for Tom, 6 for Brewster, 19 for Jeffrey, 6 for Bank, and 9 for Jamie. And now Bank gone out of the pit lane. Way far behind the points. And we're on lap 25 now. And Liam, we're not sure when is Liam going to pit. We're not sure at the moment. all Matt needs to do is just trying to keep the car as cool as possible, because anything can happen to the car. Just a spin could bring him all the way down, because he, as we know, has to keep clear of Mark. He has that 3 seconds, because if he spins, that it will be a tough time for Matt to try and gain all that back up on those medium tires, on those hard tires, basically.
Liam is going to be
Ross,
stressing himself now. He was definitely going to come in for the soft compound tires, but are you it should be up for debate now to maybe pit now before you lose more and more time by staying out.
No, he's staying now again. We're on lap 26. He's just given anything he's got. We'll look at the leader. He can get. He can go. If he goes in the soft tyre and gets all that pace in, he can try and get a P5 spot, which is not bad. But we'll see if that can be anything to do, because it's just like a top 5 spot will be 15 points behind Trix. But Liam has to have a massive gap. But we thought Trix's thing will be over, because the drivers will just back up and get as much points as possible. Ronan get that unfortunate crash. Meanwhile, that Liam has to make as much ground as possible.
Not to forget that Matt later on in the season could also become a championship threat if he continues his great form, if he wins tonight.
Yeah, someone left the session as he retired from the race. Meanwhile, we're going on to lap 27. Liam is still continuing. I think he's trying to get like a safety car somewhere. He's trying to find like a safety car. Meanwhile, Bank setting the fastest lap of the race. We'll see what it was. It's an 18.7. The 118s. Meanwhile, Christix getting the DRS of Zotic with both of them. Christix is trying to get the big one.
At the moment,
yep.
At the moment, if Liam boxes, looking at the gap to the leader, he will come out either just behind Christix or in the battle with Christix and Exotic. So the podium is still definitely on here for Liam, considering he will have fresh soft compound tires to their aging mediums.
Yeah, he needs at least a P3 if he wants to get at least a distant chance. Wait, is that raining?
It is rain. It's raining.
Oh, I think that's what Liam was trying to do. I think that's what he was trying to do the entire time.
Has Liam pulled off a master stroke of a strategy here?
We'll see. 1 lap 28. I think Liam every lap was checking the pressure of the rain. Oh, Jeffrey pitting for the inters. We'll see from the Haas if it's raining or if it's inters. We'll see. Coming on the pit lane.
It's definitely not inters yet. Not yet.
Yeah, we'll see. Coming in the hairpin. Yeah, it does not get the apex. It's a lot. We'll see from Liam. He just needs to hope the rain will get as much as possible, so that he'll have a chance of getting anything in this race. Because if the driver finishes the race with only one set of compounds, he'll be disqualified. Oh, Zotic just looking dangerous out there. Ross pitting. Oh, it might be inters.
It might be inters. You're right.
We'll see from Liam. What is he doing? He's gonna pit. I think Matt has
He's
to
in
pit
the
as well.
pits. Liam is in the pits. They're all gonna come into the pits for inters, and this is looking to be a gold strategy from Liam here.
If he does that, might as well just put on the softs then. But he might not have any softs. Here comes man like Mark. We'll see. Inters on for Liam. Matt, on for the set of inters.
Someone has spun. It's on the inters. Tom the bomb has spawned on inters. And he's spun again. Ooh. He mustn't crash the car. DRS has now been disabled, so it is now fully wet conditions.
Yeah, and Tyrone, Bryce and Bruce are the only one left on the dries. Bruce is just praying for his life to try and get something because he needs to get some points for the Mercedes team. Going a bit slowly at the final corner. But yeah, it's Inters time, which means fast lap will be by Bank. So so McLaren will walk away with the fastest lap of the race. And we'll see. We have basically 4 laps remaining when Liam will cross the line to make a lap 30. And Matt has to hope that Liam has a upset, otherwise there'll be nothing going back for him. Or something in the moment. And I think Christic, when I saw him, he pitted for wing, because he had wing damage. He pitted for a new front wing, so he's a bit far behind of Zotic. But he has to hope he'd get into his penalty thing so he can.
Oh, and Capitic Bank has spun. He has spun on the exit of turn 3, and he's lost the points.
He lost the points with the fastest lap and got overtaken by Tom.
Yep, and Bank now has a lot of work to do.
Yep.
Liam! 10 seconds clear from Matt. If he finishes this off cleanly, this will be a dominant, absolutely dominant display here from Liam. Took the lead on lap 1 and hasn't lost it ever since, except for the first round of pit stops, so he made it back up.
Yeah, last round of pit stops, but yeah, we'll wait until the final lap to see if he has anything to do. But is this like calculations? This will be his second win of the season. So Trix and Liam at the moment, 2 drivers. 2 drivers winning 2 races in 4 races. So it's looking like Liam versus Trix at the moment. Ronan will drop out the points. Well, not looking likely. Ronan's still about a race distance. They're not a race clear ahead of Ronan. Ronan still has a chance. But Liam, he'll be tied with Trix, but I don't know what will happen. I don't know the scoreline of oh my god, even the rain is making the camera blur. I can barely see the Alfa Romeo, pixelated.
Yeah, there's a lot of rain here pouring down, and Liam, he knew what he was doing. We all doubted him. We all said that he made a complete mistake going onto the medium tires for a second time, but it was the right decision.
Yeah, it's like Jeffrey, Bang, Tom and Jamie are lapped, as we see from the leader. Forger has been lapped. Liam, if he keeps up I think he's trying to keep it clear. If Brewster has no pace, it could be the 5th driver getting lapped by the Alfa Romeo driver. But we will see. Yeah, he's just looking bad at the moment. The rain conditions are looking bad, but penultimate lap of this race now. Well, Matt lapping him, and it's just seeing on how this will happen. Matt, all he needs to do is try not to spin, because if he spins, there's a chance of breaking your front wing, losing a lot of time, because he has that 3 seconds, which Mark could try and get that 3-second window.
And Bank is trying to unlap himself now from Matt, so he's ghosting through each other.
Well, he's already lapped anyway, so I don't know. He's lapped anyway because Liam already lapped him.
Yeah.
Because I hate with the people who are ghosted, because they just like here they just do this and it's very distracting.
Absolutely, and Matt has lost already a second just on this lap to Liam, so it's proving, like you said, that it's very distracting for Matt.
Yeah, and you lost a second to Mark behind because of this ghost of Bank, because Bank's trying to unlap himself, always trying to catch up to Tom. Anywhere else, because Shaman with that massive second penalty, he's trying to catch up, try and get something out of it.
Yeah, and Bank could actually still get in the one. Oh, he can't.
Oh, no.
No, he can't.
No. Wait. He just said that. There's still a chance. There's still a chance. but then he gets a penalty next lap.
Yeah, it's perfect timing.
Yeah. Last lap of the race. Yeah, last. Okay, that's the worst way to intro that. Sorry. All right, on the last lap of this race, Liam for the Alfa Romeo, going into the end of sector 2 to end sector 3. Was unlucky to get that pole position in Q3 that was stolen by Matt, but managed to get the lead after lap 1 with a good start. Pitting onto this another set of mediums. We thought that will never happen, but the rain comes and his strategy went perfect onto the inters, and then a dominant display by Liam, who wins in Portugal and ties himself to get back in the championship lead. Well, not sure, but he puts in the championship hunt, and Matt come across the line to go and finish in P2 for the Williams team. And Mark, it will be a good display because Alfa Romeo will get a double podium today at 1 and 3. Matt finishing P2 for Williams. Meanwhile, Zotic will get a P4 finish, but I think Christix will get the P4 because of the pens, as we see. Yes, you do. Meanwhile, Rice will get that P6 spot. As we check pens again. Yes, we will. P6 for McLaren. And that Tom finishing P10, Bank P11, Haas in P12, P13. Tyrone finishing P7. Meanwhile, Ross getting that P8 spot. P8. And now Brewster being the last driver to cross the line in P9. And that is a brilliant race today. That is probably the most insane race we've seen today.
Agreed. And in terms of driver of the day, I would give it to Gzotic. I mean, he drove an incredible recovery race. He started down in P14, I believe. And yeah, he made his way very well up into P5. Yes, he did get 15 seconds of penalties, but he had enough of a gap and was able to maintain a solid P5 for Mercedes.
Yeah, and now we see the Alfa Romeo celebrating after realising that it's probably one of the most dominant. We've seen in Monza last season, Ronan making that dominant display in both dry and wet, but it's probably Liam's turn in the Alfa Romeo to get that spot. And at the end, 3 drivers does not have pens, which is Liam, Mark and Christix. And there's your result for the race. Liam, a dominant display from him, finishing top with Matt in P2, followed by Mark with an impressive P3 for Alfa Romeo. Christix in P4 for him. Zotic in P5 for the Mercedes team. Rice in P6. Aston P3. Tyrone getting P7. Ross in P8, getting some points for Alpine after Trix did not have a good display there. Brewster in P9, so double points for Mercedes, and Tom, who finished it off, but the other one lapped. Followed by Bank, who gets the fastest lap, but is lapped. Jamie, P12, and Jeffrey, P13. Summer Night, P14, who crashed. Roland, P15, who crashed. Trix, P16, he DNF'd, or he DSQ'd. So he's P16, Gromit P17, Viber P18, Matt P19, and Saki P20. And that is a very good, good race all round. Couple chaos happening, and it's just a classic race normally.
I agree with you completely there. It was very entertaining to watch. Lots of things happening all the way up and down the grid. I mean, just look at the grid and the finishing positions there on your screen. Look how varied it is from person to person. It just shows how crazy and intense this whole race was. Brewster, honorable mention as well, getting from P17 to P9. And a lot of solid drives all around the field, like Mandemar getting from P5 to P2 on the podium. That's also a very good drive. But yeah, we will be here next week.
Oh, we have to wait for the lobby to go before we stop.
Copy.
So that was a bit of a timing wrong for you.
A bit, yeah.
Yeah, and that is like not the one you want to end before, because we didn't end the stream there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just, it's one of these happen again. But yeah, well, we'll end the stream when we go back in.
It was a very solid race. Everyone up to P10 actually was lapped. That is not something we really see often in F1WR, but that is a bit extraordinary that everyone up to Tom the Bomb was lapped by Liam Hiley, the race leader.
Yeah, and also that is also this very chaotic from start, and it's just like just chaos all wrong, and it's just difficult to know when. Well, we got France next week, and it will be a. We'll hope that it's a very nice one. Very nice. We just see if it can match up what we saw today.
I completely agree with you there, and it's an exciting championship battle, as you mentioned. Liam getting right back in there, seeing the potential of drivers like Matt R15, who do really, it showed us today they have the pace in qualifying and both in the race. They do have the pace to compete for this championship, so it's interesting to see how they will get on. But Rice, of course, you have to mention Rice. He got very unlucky there with that tricks problem. Tricks malfunction in turn 3, which saw him get an illegal overtake. And had to slow down for practically half the grid, which is very unfortunate. But it is the game glitches, and it happens to the best of us.
Yeah, and it's very chaotic from start to finish, and well, I think there might be issues, so it might just end here.